Cafe.
Hola. Buenos días, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Y un momentito, lo siento mucho. Estoy tratando de ver los mensajes. I'm trying to see. The first 3 weeks, I always have people sending me messages at the last minute of like, they lost the link or, and now I've got a mystery email of I can't attend, and I don't know if I don't recognize who sent me this email. Who is this? Who is this person? I've got to figure that out. It might just be I don't recognize the thing, so I'm going to try to check this out just in case it's important. What did this poor person mean? Vamos a ver. Let's see if I can match up. Oh, yeah. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. I know some people will not join today because it is a holiday. But, it's kind of annoying when you start the whole session and then let's have one class. Let's have no class at all next week. I'm like, oh, my God. So I am keeping it short this week, just so you know, for that reason. And I'll kind of open it up to let people ask any old kind of question things too. Okay. Double checking, trying to make sure I haven't got, okay. I don't think I'm missing anybody else. Okay. Bien. I had people with full email boxes who couldn't get my emails. I had people whose phones weren't connecting. I was like, all the last 2 weeks, I'm like, there's always somebody who's got a problem. And I felt bad, even though, there's a limited amount that I can control, but hey. Okay. Y vamos a practicar un poquito. We're going to practice with some easy stuff today. And I'll kind of explain that when we start the recording. Okay. And I'm going to give you some extra. It's not really homework. It'll be something to listen to that's kind of fun and extremely controversial. Extremely controversial. Fighting words, kind of controversial. And it happened over this weekend. And I was like, wow, why is my inbox filling up?
Whoa.
Well,
Because
it's not controversial, but the Giants won yesterday.
Oh, there you go. They did.
And it is kind of related to the sports world, kind of. On a tangential, yeah, kind of thing. So, okay. So we've got kind of an easy session here, and I'm going to start the recording now.
You have
Okay, sorry, perdón. Yeah, whoever gets this, they're going to be like, what is she doing? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Okay. Buenos días. I literally have every window open and lights on, and it still feels like I'm in a tomb. It's so dark here. Probably the same kind of dark for you guys here. It's so rare that we get dark days here. Okay. Quick disclaimer, because this is an unofficial class, because we're not supposed to have class on a holiday. So if I've offended anybody, discúlpenme, forgive me. Yes, I know it is officially a holiday, but I am keeping it to an hour because, we're not officially supposed to have class. But again, it's that thing of we had one class and then it feels very disjointed to a lot of people, especially if they have a New Year's resolution and they really want to stay on task. Yeah. It feels strange to have one lesson, no lesson at all. And then we kick up. So the plan today is to have a shorty lesson so I don't, offend anybody if they really say it is a holiday. What are you doing this for? And the second thing is we're not really going to tie today's class to anything we did in class 1. So if people truly want to say, hey, it is a holiday and I want this day off, then I do not tie it to what we did in that first class. It's just kind of some separate stuff. And I'll leave some time open for you to do any ask any questions. But we've got a little bit of practice. Es práctica fácil. This is easy practice. And what we're going to do today is some easy practice with some common words that people use quite a lot, which is tan and tanto. And I'll cut you guys loose to maybe practice that a little bit after we have our mini lesson. Okay. A ver, the extra little bonus you will get in today's email is that I will send you a link to Shakira's new song. This is blew up my inbox. I suddenly had like 20 notifications and I liked it. And because I don't follow every new pop thing that comes out, but Shakira is a big name, of course. I was like, okay, vamos a ver. Well, the first time I listened to it, it was like, oh my God, imagine, why is this so, por qué es tan polémico el video? Why is the video so controversial? Writers, songwriters always write about from personal experience. Yes, artists. Everything comes from the pain of personal experience. And of course, she is going through a very, very big, nasty, very messy public breakup with someone she was not married to in the first place. But well, that's a different story. But she had been together with this guy for 12 years. No, they never got married because
she was 10 years older.
She is 10 years. Yes, she is 10 years older than he is.
Wow.
I am older than my husband. Okay, so never mind. But she is 10 years older than her husband. He left her for someone who is 22. She's in her 40s. No, I'm sorry. She's 23. Yes. The other woman in question is 23. Imagine the big kind of pop culture we had thing going on when Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, right, did that. I mean, if you don't care, yeah, but it was in the news, right?
I don't care.
It's kind of like that because both of these people, both Shakira and her ex, are actually well known in their own fields. Okay. He would be famous by himself if he were not together with Shakira because he's a big footballer, as they say. So he has his own followers. Okay. She is, of course, very well known because of her music. But it is an extremely acrimonious split. And she mentions in the video, pretty much by name, the person that she was dumped for. Yeah, with a side reference. The lady who she was dumped for is named Clara Chia. And when she says claramente, clearly,
Okay.
it ain't talking about claramente clearly. It is talking about the other woman. She mentions the fact that she is being pursued by the Spanish IRS. Yes. I don't really know that that's his fault, to be very honest with you. She owes millions. She could actually go to prison for that. There are prison penalties in addition to the financial things. Okay. She mentions being stuck in an apartment, well, a house. I don't know exactly what it is. Basically across the street from her ex-in-law. So you'll hear the word suegra, and she technically isn't her mother-in-law, but it is the mother of her ex. What else does she mention? Well, you know,
First
she
word on
kind of,
that was PA, apostrophe.
oh,
What was
pa,
that?
yeah.
Pa.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in the email. Pa
Okay.
just means para.
Okay.
Okay. And the only really two slang words you really need to know to listen to the song is that para, for, is shortened to pa, which a lot of people do routinely. It's just, it is slangy, but it's, everybody says it. Okay. And she says, pa tipos pa tipas como tú. For guys like you. Tipos, tipo means type, but tipo is a slang to mean a guy. Okay. Basically, the song goes through, I am too big for little people like you. And names the ex and names the fact that she lives across the street from ex's mom, and references the fact that she's pursued by their version of the IRS. It is, she's going through a bad, you wouldn't know she's going through a bad period in her life to look at her, but hey, but it is fun. And there are a lot of cultural references. If you don't understand everything about the song, that's fine, but it is very catchy. I will say that. Okay. So I'll give you some things that will help you understand the song a little bit. Un poquito más. I do want to do a fair amount of practice on the issue of these little words. So we're going to have a preview now. Has nothing to do with Shakira. We're going to do a little bit of work with these words because this was a short that came up and it is worth some thought and some practice. Okay, aquí viene. Here comes the lead up.
There are so many cars here, then this could be hay tan muchos coches aquí.
Oh, but that is not correct. Yeah. Okay. Let me kind of go back to that. Let's refresh that because these
if you wanna
shorts
say in
are
Spanish-
shorts for a reason. These shorts are so fast. I have to be ready with that pause button. Okay. This is a good disclaimer to talk about and then practice why we don't translate word for word from English into Spanish. Okay.
There are so many cars here.
If you translate so many, and if you look them up in a dictionary, because you say, I'm smart, I'm going to look up so and many in the dictionary, you'll get two words really that we don't use together. And here's what you're going to see as a mistake if you try to do word for word.
Then this could be hay tan muchos.
Hay tan muchos coches aquí. That is really bad. Tan muchos. So tan does mean so. Muchos does mean many. And muchos is correct for coches, but nobody ever says tan muchos, so many. So this is a warning on not doing word for word because there's a special structure that we use. And he's going to talk about that. And you guys are going to practice it today.
Muchos coches aquí. But this isn't correct. What's wrong with this sentence in Spanish? We can't combine tan with muchos. In Spanish,
We can't combine tan with muchos to say so many, okay? Because there's a special word that does that.
we have the word tanto, which plays the role of so many or so much.
And tanto gets actually two roles, two functions to play. And you're going to look at both of those today and practice them, okay? Tanto, but tanto may be used just only in that form solely as tanto, or it may be used in a form that varies according to gender and number. So he's going to show you some examples.
Therefore, we can say hay tantos coches aquí.
Hay tantos coches aquí. There is the right way to say that. Hay tantos coches aquí. There are so many cars here. Okay. And you'll notice that tantos gets an S at the end because it's talking about coches, cars, or we would say carros in Latin American Spanish, carros or autos, or, any number of words. But tantos There's one of the forms of tanto, okay? A masculine and plural form, because it's talking about a masculine and plural noun, sustantivo, noun.
I have so many questions. Tengo tantas preguntas.
Tengo tantas preguntas. Preguntas, questions, is a noun that is a feminine plural. So tanto needs to go into a feminine plural form. Tantas. Tengo tantas preguntas. Okay.
There is so much work to do. Hay tanto trabajo que hacer.
Hay tanto trabajo que hacer. Tanto trabajo, there is a noun. It is functioning not as the yo form. Trabajo there is not functioning as trabajo en la oficina. I'm working in the office. It's functioning as trabajo, the thing I do, okay? Trabajo is functioning as a noun. So there, tanto just remains tanto, the masculine singular. Hay tanto trabajo que hacer. There's so much work to do. And their work is a thing, a noun.
So if you want to say in Spanish,
Okay, so, and there it just recycles and recycles. So I'll send you the link to that so you can ponder that a little bit. A ver. And now we're going to take a look. So now, tanto can be used a couple of ways. And we're going to kind of take a look at that and see what you can do with it. And the first one will be work all together, and the second one will be work in some groups. A ver. Let's see. Okay. Tanto versus tan. Yeah, because remember, he said tan muchos, but we can't say tan muchos ever. Okay. Tanto can mean so much or so many. Tan by itself just means so. And we'll talk a little bit about tan maybe after this bit. Okay. Tanto never changes if it is functioning as an adverb. Okay. Y voy a engrandecer aquí. So because you don't have to think about changing tanto when it functions as an adverb, that means it's working with a verb. It is easier to use tanto just in the form that does not change, which is the adverb form, to say so much, right? You don't say so much cars, but you might say, somebody does something so much, or somebody doesn't do something so much. Okay, entonces, por ejemplo, we, you get a text box up here. I could say, if I wanted to talk about this player, Peyton Manning, ¿no? Este jugador de fútbol americano se llama Peyton Manning. Y podría decir, I could say, Peyton Manning no juega. Let's put that this way. Ya no longer. Ya no longer. Y voy a mover aquí. Ya no juega tanto al fútbol americano. It kicked me out of my keyboard there. Al fútbol americano. Ya no juega tanto. He doesn't play so much anymore, right? Because he's retired, right? Ya no juega tanto. And tanto is talking about that verb juega, plays. So when I use tanto with a verb, I don't have to worry about putting it into a different form. It's always just tanto. Ya no juega tanto al fútbol americano. Okay. If I want to talk, on the other hand, about this lady who is clearly stressed out about her work, I could say something like this. Ella trabaja tanto y ahora tiene dolor de cabeza. She works so much and now she's got a headache. Ella trabaja tanto. She works so much. Tanto is talking about that conjugated verb, trabaja. She works so much. How much does she work? So much. Okay. Words that describe the action of a verb are adverbs. Adverbs don't go into a masculine, feminine, because verbs are not masculine, feminine. That's basically why. Okay. If I were to talk about this older guy running with this younger guy, I could say, el hombre viejo corre tanto como su compañero más joven. The old man runs as much as his younger companion. Corre tanto. As much. Runs just as much. If I talk about retired folks down here, I might say los jubilados, retirees, ya no trabajan tanto. Ya no trabajan tanto. They don't work so much. Así que tienen tiempo libre para tomar otra taza de café. Tienen, I got twice. Guy. Perdón. Okay. My brain is becoming dyslexic here. Los jubilados ya no trabajan tanto, así que tienen tiempo. Tienen tiempo libre, perdón. Tienen tiempo libre. They've got free time. Yeah. Para tomar otra taza de café. Okay. So here, tanto always stays the same because it's trabajan tanto, corre tanto. Again, trabajan tanto, but notice even though it's singular, trabaja versus trabajan, yeah, that tanto stays tanto because it's modifying a verb. Peyton Manning ya no juega tanto. So no matter what the verb is, tanto stays tanto. Bien? Okay. ¿Entienden? Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Vale. Bueno, vamos a ver. Es otra cosa con tanto y sustantivos. It's another thing if you're talking about that word tanto and we combine it with a noun, un sustantivo. Usamos una forma de tanto con sustantivos, nouns, cuidado con la forma de tanto. Now we've got to watch out for that form of tanto because it is modifying a noun, which does have gender and does have number. So, okay. ¿Cuáles son las formas de tanto? They are obviously tanto, tanta, tantos, or tantas. Now we have to look at the 4 forms of tanto, all right? Because now it means so many things. So many things. Nouns are people, places, or things. So now it is modifying a noun. Okay. A ver, entonces, we're going to label some of these. And we'll do one of them together so that it kind of makes sense here. And I'm going to have to, I think, make some of these a little bit bigger so I can make all of them fit. A ver. Okay. Vamos a ver. I'm going to give you some labels. And we're going to do the first one together, which is going to be the money one. But here we've got babies. Here's the example we're going to use because it's the easy peasy one. We have just the noun, dinero, money. Hey. Got too many things up here. I'm trying to make everything fit. Es difícil. Okay, a ver. Aquí tenemos coins. Which would get this noun, monedas. Okay. Aquí tenemos el sustantivo balloons, globos. Aquí van a hablar de electrical cords, cuerdas. Okay. Here we've got the difficult one. Here is the hard one. Gente. If you talk about people in general, right? En general. Aquí van a practicar con mariposas. Butterflies. I'm going to try to get these to reduce a little bit. Mariposas. Y aquí tenemos papeles, papers. Or let's call it something maybe a little more accurate here. Documentos. Okay. We're going to do one together. We're going to do the golden one, dinero, because that one is easy. It does. Which one of these forms is it going to need? Tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas. If I use dinero in a sentence, which one of those 4 forms is going to need to talk about dinero?
Tanto.
Tanto, the easy one. Yeah, that's why I'm taking the easy one. Tanto. Okay. So I could say a sentence like, and you'll be able in your groups to create any sentence. You can keep it as simple as you want, or as complex, and I'll show you how. I could just say, ay. So here's the cheat sheet, easy one. Ay. A ver. Hay tanto dinero en la foto. Hay tanto dinero en la foto. There's so much money in the picture.
If instead of dinero, you used, is it dólares for dollars? Then that would be plural. Tantos dólares.
Dolores.
Do I have the right word?
I'm not following.
No, it's instead of just calling it money, like a pile of money there, what if you were to say dollars?
Oh, dólares. Okay.
Dollar.
Sí, sí, sí. Okay. Now I follow. Yeah, sí. Entiendo, entiendo. Hay
Ay, tontos.
tantos dólares. You could, but that wouldn't be very common probably to talk about this, because when we talk about money, just the word money, it is a singular word. And that's a hint for what's going to happen down here with that word gente.
Yeah.
Okay. ¿Entiendes? Understand? So, okay, yes, I could say, to make it an example that's a masculine and plural, I could change the noun from dinero to dólares to plug that idea in as a means of practice. But it would not be very common to express hay tantos dólares like that way. It would be much more common to say hay tanto dinero. Okay. So I'm going to show you two types of sentences, because depending on what you want to do in your group, you might go the easy way just with hay. There are. Yeah. Hay tanto dinero. Or you might make it a little more complicated by making a more complicated sentence. And let's think about what we might say that is a more complex sentence. You may choose to plug it into an idea like, mi vecino gana mucho, tanto dinero cada año. And I'll try to get this into a format we can read a little more easily. You may choose to build it into something, a more complex sentence. That's just what I'm showing you. Mi vecino gana tanto dinero cada año. My neighbor earns so much money every year. Okay, vale? So you can make it a more complex sentence like mi vecino gana tanto dinero cada año. But using tanto dinero, or you can keep it really simple like hay tanto dinero en la foto. There's so much money in the photograph. No importa. When you go into your small groups, you can do either one. More complex sentence or harder sentence. And I'm going to take out some of this so that we can make some of this fit. So
you used gana as earn, but I guess I thought it meant to win. Is that not right?
What, gana?
Yeah, isn't the verb ganar to win?
Well, ganar both means to win and to earn. Like we say, make money. He makes a lot of money. It does not mean he's got a press turning out actual currency.
Oh, okay.
When we say he makes a lot of money, we don't mean he prints the currency. We mean he earns. So ganar has two definitions, yeah? Ganar win or ganar earn, as in you work and therefore you acquire this. Making money, right? Yeah. Make money in English does not mean the manufacture of currency. Yeah, we're talking about what somebody earns in the course of their payment. Okay. Bien. Vale. What? Sí, bueno, Cindy.
I have one I had to
Sí, sí,
leave for
dime.
this, but I was in the part where you were talking about tanto as an adverb
Mhm.
stays with the O on it. And here we're changing to an A and then the S on it. So when does it become not an adverb that you change the O to an A?
When is it not an adverb?
Yeah.
It is not an adverb when it's talking about a thing or people, when it's talking about a noun. So let's take a quick look again, because this is going to. Oh, and someone had a question. Yes. Does tanto as an adverb always come after the verb? Tanto as an adverb, yeah, usually does come after the verb. Okay, but now we're going to be talking about the harder thing, which is tanto with a noun. Tanto, or a form of tanto. Okay. When tanto is talking about a noun, it will come in front of that noun, right? Like gana tanto dinero, hay tanto dinero. But I want you to go into groups and see if you can figure out how to create a simple sentence like I, or something more complex like mi vecino gana tanto dinero. And notice it's tanto dinero, tanto in front of the noun. And you're going to talk about these nouns. Bebés, babies. Los bebés. I'll give you a little more of a clue by putting in our article so that you know whether it's feminine or masculine. Okay, so we'll give you a little more something to hang on to here. You're going to talk about not dinero, our example, although you'll see the example on the screen, so that helps a little bit. But you're going to talk about babies, coins, meaning hard currency. And there it does go into a plural form because, yeah, coins are obviously single or one. And we don't use that always as a collective verb. It'll be singular or plural. You'll be talking about monedas, mariposas, documentos, people, la gente, and las cuerdas, electrical cords. Yeah. Globos, balloons. Okay. Bien. I will send those into your Zoom rooms so that you can create some talk about those using a form of tanto, right? And it's going to depend on which form you use, depends on the noun that you're talking about. Vale. Okay. I got to adjust a couple things here. And pretty soon we'll be ready. Okay. Does that make sense? ¿Hay alguna pregunta? Is there any kind of a question before we start? Sí o no?
No.
No? Okay. So create a little sentence. I'm going to come into one of the rooms to work with one group, and the rest of you, I'm going to like throw you out into the pool, let you swim a little bit, and then we'll come back. I think to do this, we're probably only going to need about maybe, okay, 7 minutos, 7 minutes is enough. ¿Sí? ¿Es suficiente? I'm going to make sure I set my watch. Okay, I'm going to open the Zoom rooms. I am going to send the pictures into your Zoom rooms because I don't expect you to remember all those nouns. That would not be reasonable. And once everybody hits their join button, I will be able to get that shared. Okay, a ver. And I've got to watch my clock. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. Vamos a ver. I'm going to join one of my groups here. Fantastic. I'm here with you guys so that I can make sure I give you a little extra support if you need it. You can
Yes.
see the pictures, right? Pueden ver las fotos, ¿sí?
No.
You can't. Goy.
Okay.
Let's try that again. Wow.
Ah,
Now you can see it?
aquí, sí.
Okay.
Yes. No.
I may have cut people off. Okay. Let me, no, I'm a little bit, I had an update, which, hang on. Momentito. Let me just try to do this one more way because I'm afraid I might have cut the other groups off. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Because I joined, I think that I created a kind of an artificial problem here. Hang on. I'm going to pop out. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You may want to write down once you see these. Hang on. I'm going to leave the break. Okay. Wow. Okay. A ver. So there is a problem if I join a breakout room with the share. That is interesting. Not good, but interesting. Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. It will not let me both join a breakout room and share a screen. I asked it to do too much. Que lástima. That is a pain. I'll just, I hope my folks don't think I've abandoned them, but well, I have some limitations here. We'll let it go 6 minutes and then we'll bring folks back. I will have to figure out what my glitch is with that. Or maybe more accurately, not that it is a glitch per se, but that I have certain limitations on what I can and cannot do. Okay. A ver. Okay, bien, vale, vamos, let's go. That's a little problem there. We'll see if we can get that fixed for next time. Quizás no, maybe not. We'll see. Vamos a ver. Lo siento. Wow, sorry that did not work. I guess I found out that I cannot both join a room and show a picture at the same time. Apparently, it can't handle that.
That's okay.
And yeah, Zoom just didn't update this weekend. So I don't know if that's part of a glitch or not. I'm going to have to send them a message. So sorry, I could not join you for that. Could you see the pictures a second time? I put that back out. See?
Back.
Yeah, they did come back.
Okay.
They came
Okay.
back.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It would not let me do the two things at the same time. Apparently we can't walk and chew gum at the same time with the, so I don't know if that's because of the Zoom update or not, but we'll give everybody a time to come on back and see what kinds of ideas we might share, what kind of sentences, and it's good to see what other kind of sentences people come up with. Okay, a ver, sí, ya estamos. Okay, everybody's here now. I'm sorry, we had a little bit of a blip in between there, but let's kind of get your ideas. And because I'm going to put the screen back up, I will not be able to see you guys. So you will have to, if you raise your hand, I don't see you. So you'll have to speak up. Okay. Bien. So what kind of ideas could you say talking about los bebés?
Hay tantos bebés en el parque.
Hay tantos bebés en la casa, en el salón, en la sala. Hay tantos bebés con la niñera. There are so many babies with the babysitter. Hay tantos bebés con la niñera. Así, like that. Sí. Algo distinto, something different about los bebés. Oh, no. And here it would be tantos bebés. It would have to be tantos bebés, tantos bebés, tantos to match up with los bebés. And tantos will be in front of bebés because I know people always, oh, wait, where do adjectives go? Don't they follow the noun? Well, they do, but adjectives that refer to quantities. Yeah, like a lot or so many or just a few. Yeah, adjectives that refer to quantities come in front of the noun instead of following it. So yeah, that is right. Okay, a ver. If we're talking about las monedas, what might we say about that?
La botella tiene tantas monedas.
La botella tiene tantas monedas. Sí, la botella tiene tantas monedas. Sí, la jarra, it's a jar. Sí, la botella, it's a bottle. Sí, lo mismo. La jarra tiene tantas monedas. Hay tantas monedas en la jarra. Sí. Mis hijos ahorraron tantas monedas. My kids saved so many coins. Ahorraron tantas monedas. They saved. Ahorraron. See? A ver. So we'll show you a couple of sample sentences. And let's call them los niños. Ahorraron tantas monedas. Let's see if we can make this a little bit smaller. Ooh. And make the right thing smaller so we can see what we're doing here. We'll just move that out. Okay. Los niños ahorraron. They saved. That's a past. Ahorraron tantas monedas. They saved up so many coins. Or you might make it simple, just like hay tantas monedas en la jarra. There are so many coins in the jar. Así. Okay? ¿Vale? Monedas. Tantas monedas. Tantas monedas. Mariposas. Butterflies. Bien. ¿Qué podemos decir de las mariposas? What can we say about butterflies?
I said mi jardín no tiene tantas mariposas ahora.
Bien. Mi jardín no tiene tantas mariposas. Ahora, my garden doesn't have so many butterflies right now. Mi jardín no tiene tantas mariposas ahora. Excelente. Bien. Bueno, ¿qué más? What else could we say? We could make it really simple. Just hay tantas mariposas en la primavera, in spring, ¿sí? Okay.
Tantas mariposas bonitas, pretty.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So many
Tantas
tantas.
mariposas son bonitas. Yeah, they're pretty. Tantas mariposas son bonitas. Wow, so many butterflies. They're pretty. Tantas mariposas son bonitas. Excelente. Sí, muy bien. Bueno, ¿qué más?
Hay tantos mariposas en el bosque.
Hay tantas mariposas en el bosque. There are so many butterflies in the forest, in the woods. Sí, en el bosque. Sí, hay tantas mariposas. We want to make sure it's tantas mariposas. Bien. Okay. Fantástico. Sí. Otra idea. Another idea? Somebody have one? No, okay. Documentos. Documento.
tantos documentos sobre mi escritorio.
Sí, sí. Tantos documentos en mi escritorio, on my desk, ¿sí? Necesito tantos documentos para calcular los impuestos, to calculate my taxes, yeah. Necesito tantos documentos para calcular los impuestos.
How about Tantos, Documentos, classified, somebody classified documents?
El presidente del banco.
Sí, sí, ok, bien, bien, excelente, excelente. Bueno, bueno, sí. Algo más con documentos. Tantos documentos. Bien. Ok, bien. Cuerdas. Cuerdas. Let's talk about those.
Mi esposo tiene tantas cuerdas en su oficina.
Sí, mi esposo tiene tantas cuerdas en su oficina. Exacto, fantástico. Tiene tantas cuerdas en su oficina. Bien. Bueno, otra idea.
Yo tengo tantas cuerdas en mi baño.
Bien. Ok. ¿Está bien? ¿Está bien? Sí.
Cuidado, Cindy. Cuidado.
Sí. Hay que tener cuidado. You gotta be careful. Hay que tener cuidado con tantas cuerdas. Wow, you gotta be careful with so many cords. Sí. Hay que tener cuidado. You gotta be careful. Hay que tener cuidado con tantas cuerdas. Sí. Excelente. Sí. Por ejemplo, una computadora necesita tantas cuerdas. Bien. Una computadora muy típica necesita tantas cuerdas, ¿sí? Cuerdas para los audífonos, cuerdas para el ratón, cuerdas por todas partes, cords all over, tantas cuerdas. Excelente, excelente. Globos, globos, balloons.
Él envió tantos globos en el cielo.
Sí, tantos globos en el cielo, in the sky, sí. Veo, I see, quizás I see, veo tantos globos en el cielo.
I wanted to say sent, envió, or is that just used for messages?
Envió, no, you could, yeah, envió, o envié para yo, envié tantos globos al cielo, I sent so many globes up into the air, sí, al aire, up into the air, al cielo, bien. Eso sí, hay tantos globos en una fiesta de cumpleaños. There are so many balloons at a birthday party, ¿sí?
Tantos
Okay.
globos de colores?
Tanto, podemos decir, hay tantos colores de globos. There are so many colors of balloons. Hay tantos colores de los globos, sí, en este grupo. Eso sí. Bueno, otra idea. Oh, no, we're going to come down to the hardest one down here. Gente. Gente is a tricky word because gente means people. And when we first teach you Spanish, we teach you this other word, which is like super easy to use, which is personas. And that's a great word too. It's an okay word, personas, persons, people. But the word you really tend to hear a lot more is gente. But gente, people, even though it's talking about a group, is a singular noun. Okay, that's why I put those el, la, los, las little cues up here. So if I'm using the word so many people, I've got to make sure I make that so many word, the tanto word, correspond to gente. What word do I need? What form do I need to make it?
Tanta.
Tanta gente. And you will hear the word gente a little bit more than personas, I think, a little bit more because it is the more common way to talk about people. Okay. Una idea con gente. An idea with gente?
Hay tanta gente al concierto.
Hay tanta gente en el concierto. Sí. Hay tanta gente en el concierto, and we'll move this so you can see this as well. Hay tanta gente en el concierto. Hay tanta gente en el concierto. Sí. Tanta gente asiste al concierto. So many people are attending the concert. So to put it in a little more complex sentence, I might say, tanta gente asiste, which means attends, al concierto, which just means so many people are attending the concert. Tanta gente asiste al concierto. And notice that gente needs a singular verb, asiste, attend. Yeah, I can't make it asisten because gente is a singular. It's a collective noun, but it's a singular noun. Okay, bien. Okay. A tanta gente le gusta la música. A tanta gente le gusta la música. Tanta gente. Tanta gente está en el concierto, hay tanta gente en el concierto. Así, like that. Okay? Bien? Okay. Está bien. Good with that
Está
so
bien.
far? See? Okay. Let's take just maybe a couple minutes to bring up a new screen. I'm just going to show you a little bit how we might use that little short word tan, because you also may hear that word tan, and these can get a little bit confusing. So if you feel like, wow, that's a lot, well, yeah, you're right. But we do have kind of easy ways to talk about tanto when we talk about verbs versus tanto when we're talking about nouns. So let's talk a little bit about this hangnail that is the word tan. Tan. Uy, a ver, sí, 18. Okay, 18. Tan. Tan does mean so. Okay, but as he told you in the short at the very beginning of class, you can't use tan with muchos to say so many, right? Tan by itself means so. So let me give you some examples.
Tan bonita.
Tan bonito. That way, sí. Sí. Esta rosa es tan bonita. This rose is so pretty. This is how we use the word tan properly. Tan, talking about a quality. All right. It's not tanto talking about trabajo tanto. I work so much. Right? It's not talking about a verb. It's talking about tan. It's talking about this word bonita. Es tan bonita. It's so pretty. So it's talking about pretty. Okay. I might say, esta computadora es tan útil. It is so useful. Es tan útil. I might talk about a language. El chino es tan difícil de aprender. Chinese is so hard. It's so difficult. It's so hard to learn. Es tan difícil de aprender. Tan, talking about difícil, so hard.
Estoy tan cansada.
Estoy muy bien. Estoy tan cansada de la palabra tanto. Estoy tan cansada de la palabra tanto. I am so tired of the word tanto. Okay. Sí, eso es. Sí. So, so to untangle this little extra bit, because in the video at first he said, oh, we can't say tan mucho, so many. Tan is tagged on to a description word, right? So pretty. It kind of magnifies that description word, right? If you want to say, you're not saying just, I'm tired. Oh, I'm so tired. You're making tired into a bigger deal by tagging on that word tan. Estoy tan cansada. I'm so tired, right? Es tan difícil. It is so difficult. Not just it's hard. Wow, it's, yeah, bigger than difícil, right? Es tan útil. This is so useful. It's not just kind of handy. It's so useful, okay? Esta rosa es tan bonita. Oh, it's so pretty. We're making pretty a bigger deal. Yeah, we're intensifying that descriptive word. Okay, sí, está bien. Are we good with that? See, we can even tack tan onto a really easy word like bueno. See? Oh, este café es tan bueno. Wow, this coffee is so good. It's not just okay. It's wow, so good. What did you do to this? It is so good. Es tan bueno. Or, yeah, sí, la lluvia es tan buena. The rain is so good. Yeah, es así. So we can tag on tan even to simple words like bueno or tan with malo, so bad. Yeah. Yeah, sí, está bien. Okay. Bien? Bien? Okay. Because we're doing a shorty session, I would just want to tag on to the end. Are there any burning issues, burning questions from Duolingo or any other study that you've done or any prep you've done? A burning question, a thing that can't wait till next week. Oh my God, if I don't ask this now, I will forget it. Because
I think it's just hope it's a very quick one. So I was a little confused until the translation came up in one of the videos that was for today to look at the phrase "tu has sido."
Oh,
you have been, and I frankly I wasn't connecting to sido to anything that I didn't register with me.
IDO, ido?
Sido, SIDO.
Oh, sido. Okay. Bien. Okay. Vale. Sí. Buena pregunta. Yeah, this is the kind of question. Okay. So. And it was tú?
Tú has sido.
Tú has sido. Tú has sido. Bien. Tú has sido. So, what that means is you have been. Oh, how odd. This word as corresponds to our helping verb, as they used to call it in grade school, or auxiliary verb, if you were going to be more exact, this word have. And this word have is not functioning as, oh, I have a can of corn. Tengo una lata de maíz. Tengo una lata de maíz. No, no, no. Because tengo for have means I actually possess it, right? Okay, bien? Have. When have acts not as a word that possesses, but as an auxiliary, we use one of a group of words, right? Has sido. Here is the word that means been. Has sido. And these two words have to work together. Has sido means have, that's the as part, and sido, been. Sido comes from ser. Yes. Yeah. And this is kind of an odd past participle, been, right? Okay, como por ejemplo. And usually they'll drop the tu, but so has sido buen chico. You have been a good boy. Like Santa talking to the little kid. You have been a good boy. Tú has sido buen chico. You have been a good boy. Has sido, you have been. That is the short. And as comes from haber. And it is being used in what we call a compound verb. It is a present perfect. So haber can take this form. Yo he, nosotros hemos, tú has. For vosotros, it is habéis. The only one that is normal out of all of those. Él or ella or usted ha, and ellos or ellas or ustedes han. So those are the forms of haber. If we're talking to a little kid and saying, hey, you have been very good. Has sido. That sido comes from ser. It
And
is
that's the part I wasn't connecting with sido coming from ser.
Sí. Así es. So all you really need to know for that little video is has sido means you have been. Okay, buena pregunta. Good question. That is kind of an advanced grammar thing, but
It's
all
about
you need to know is that
It's about lesson 140 on Duolingo.
well, that shows you. Yeah.
Is
Has sido is not a phrase you would typically use a lot in a typical 15-minute conversation. But in that video, you happened to hear it. Yes. Okay. Buena pregunta. Good question. Any other burning question type issues that came up from any things you're listening to, doing, sí o no? Nada? No? No? Bien? Okay. Vale. All right. I want to show you one quick thing as we leave. There's another little video. I was thinking of playing it, but I've kind of canned that. Actually, I'll probably send you the link to this whole video. It is kind of worth it. Sometimes when we're making our New Year's resolutions, lo que sea, whatever it may be. I want to be better at learning my languages and I want to work out more. And then as you get into the slog of doing that, the motivation becomes very, very difficult. And this is actually kind of a good video. And he talks about how, for those of us who are trying to learn a language, why it is different to learn languages as an adult versus as a child. And one thing that he brings up, which is true, is that a lot of videos, a lot of experts, and they are experts, will tell you, oh, we should just go back to learning language as we did as a child. But to be very honest, if you're doing that on your own, not living in the country where that language is spoken 24/7, that's not always a realistic goal. Yeah. And here is what he looks at. When you're an adult learning, you have all these elements that you see on the screen with the blue background that you are contending with. And these are all valid things. You're contending with long-term motivation, things that keep you motivated to keep learning. You're dealing with fear of making mistakes because you're an adult and you don't want to sound stupid. Little kids have no fear of making mistakes. They make the mistake and they're like, oh, okay, move on. And that's what we need to do. He talks about a 2-minute rule that connects to that idea of fear of making mistakes. And you'll hear about that if you watch the whole video. We're dealing with memory, just remembering all of these different issues and linking everything together. Pronunciation, because that's still a thing. There are people who will say, well, Spanish pronunciation is easy. And I say that myself. And it is easy coming from the English perspective. But but because it has fewer ways to pronounce each letter. But really, for when your English pronunciation is embedded in your brain as your mother tongue, then that pronunciation issue is not so easy. We want to sound accurate, so the pronunciation does come into play. We have also the element of vocabulary, just acquiring more words so we can say more things, and grammar, the nasty thing that is grammar. And we do struggle with all those issues. So watch the whole video. He talks about why it is different learning as an adult than it is from learning as a child. We would like to make it as easy as a kid, but the basic kernel of that is when you make a mistake, allow yourself to be upset for 2 minutes and then let it go.
Or as Ted Lasso would say, be a goldfish.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, allow yourself to be upset for a little while and then let it go. And just say, oh, this is the way I do it instead, move on. Oh, I should have known that word. No, be upset for 2 minutes or even maybe 30 seconds is even good enough. And then let it go. Let it go, right? Move on. Kind of make a mental note, maybe I'll try to use that word better in the future, but do move on and don't let it drag you down. Bien? Okay? ¿Está bien? Okay. We're going to cut it short for our shorty class for today so you can enjoy the rest of your holiday, if it is a holiday for you. It may or may not be a holiday for me. I haven't decided yet. Probably not. I still got to check on the fence. So it's not going to be, it's not going to be that much of a holiday. Okay. But I hope that you all have a good day. Espero que sí, que todo vaya bien. And we will pick up from the issues that we talked about in the first class next week. And if you want to join the advanced session on Wednesday, great. If you don't want to, because you don't want to do all the past tense stuff, also great. No problem at all. Bien?
Yeah.
Excelente.